We had tons of exciting stuff to share with you in this video. We were going to lay out our next 6-month plan, which includes which continent we're shipping the van to next. We are knee-deep in planning and organizing and logistics with shipping the van and getting everything ready. And then something really bad happened. Now, you guys might not understand how really bad this is, but our entire lives, plans, organizing, jobs, everything we do and need is on our laptops. And last night, Curt's went completely dead. Spinning circle of death with huge scary error message. So, telling you guys all the exciting stuff that's going to be going on in the next 6 months is still going to happen in this video, but it's going to be closer to the end because the first thing you're going to go do with us is figure out how to get a computer fixed and or buy a new one where we don't speak the language. Let's go. Vanna doesn't seem to understand how important the computer is either. Just like always, she's super chill, super relaxed. We should all be more like Vanna.
Any day but today. That was a stressful deal, guys. I mean, very stressful losing our computer. Everything is on that thing. It's kind of worse than the phone, really.
Yeah. Luckily, this happened in a pretty good place for something like this to happen. We were camping just on the outskirts of Mendoza, which is a huge city here in Argentina. So we've left our campsite this morning and we're driving into town. The guy that runs the campsite gave us a few suggestions on places to go. So if there's a silver lining, it's that we weren't out in the middle of nowhere and we were close to a place to try to get this thing fixed. So let's go drive through Mendoza in our giant van. We did a quick driver swap at a red light because it was becoming more and more clear that we were going to end up in the downtown center of Mendoza when we were heading to our first destination. So I have actually found a parking spot that may or may not be legal, but other people are parked here. I stayed in the van just in case we have to move. Curt has gone inside our first place we're going to try. We have decided to try a gaming store. They have the same kind of high-powered computers with fast processors that we need for our editing. So he's gone in there. If nothing else, we'll get some advice on where to go, but we're hoping these guys can maybe if we're lucky, we can fix our computer, which would be a best-case scenario rather than buying one in a foreign country. Let's see how he does.
All right, one of the nice things about South America and most of these cities, when you get to a little area where you're looking for something like computers or computer batteries, all the stores are kind of in a 2 or 3 block area. So it's a town with challenging parking. So Snow's found this spot, so I'm gonna hoof it around here and see if I can't come up with some kind of solution. I think my battery might have died. I get a critical error message on that, so I don't know if it's my battery or a bigger problem. Finding a battery for that computer, I don't know, might be impossible, we'll see, but that's what we're going to try to figure out.
That was fast.
I forgot to film. They didn't have anything. He recommended me a place a couple blocks down the way.
I'm gonna stay parked right here.
I think this is gonna be a mission, so I just am gonna wander. I think you should just stay right here.
We're going to, I think it's a legit parking place. I think I can turn the van off. Is the curb yellow?
The curb is yellow.
If for some reason I have to move, I will WhatsApp you. So make sure you check that.
Okay.
Good luck.
There's a jugueteria. If you guys remember in Buenos Aires at the jugueteria, I got some puzzles while we were stuck in our apartment for several months. Spoiler alert, we might have some puzzles showing up in our product store one day soon. So I went to the gaming computer store. They sent me here, Almago Pilos y baterías especiales. All right, let's see. I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think I've experienced too many places like this, but this place has batteries for everything. I saw a guy bring a razor, like an electric razor, and they've got batteries for everything, and or they can get them. So they think they can get a battery for my computer. They do not take them out or change them, but it will take about 30 days to get my computer. I cannot wait 30 days to do my work. I have to work now. So we are really gonna have to try to figure something out, guys. All right, this is the second place that's told me the only battery that I can get is gonna be from that place across the road. So 30 days, a new battery is not an option. Now we're looking at a whole entire new computer. So yesterday when my computer wouldn't fire up, I pretty much just kind of lost my breath because it's such an important tool for us. And it's a big hit for us. And it just happened again. I lost my breath. They do have a computer here that has similar specifications, which, you know, for editing, you kind of need certain specifications for the speed and the amount of data we handle. In any event, $2,500. So that is definitely some sticker shock. So it's good news that we can definitely get a computer. Just can't really afford that right now, so hopefully we can find another option. We're gonna go over to this repair shop that they use and hope maybe they can get it fixed. I don't know, we'll see. This is where their service technicians are. Let's see what they can do. So these guys are trying to help me with.
I can't.
They're trying to help me, but I can't. Guys, there just aren't a lot of good options here. We're trying to work something out here through a repair shop. They cannot fix the battery. I think it's the same thing, but we'll see about a new computer. Maybe we can get a better price. Don't know. Oy vey, guys, we just don't have really a good option. Everything is super expensive. I'm sure that's due to the economic situation here in Argentina. All right, faced with only expensive options, I've decided to branch out. We've decided to go shopping for computers and see if we can find a better deal at one of these stores. We have found a computer for $1,500 on Mercado Libre, which is basically Argentina's version of Amazon, and it's really all of Latin America, South America, Mercado Libre. But you have to have an Argentina identification number to be able to order things on there. So we cannot order from Mercado Libre. Otherwise, we could just order and have shipped in, easy peasy, a $1,500 computer and be done. But let's see what they have in here. So no luck in Musimundo. They only had a few computers, not much in stock. That was where we were recommended to go. There's a couple more big box stores down here. We'll see what they have. The prices were definitely cheaper in there. They just did not have the computer I need. All right, Megatone is my second one. So again, they have a few computers, but nothing that meets our specs. So Mendoza clearly has a huge downtown shopping area. And again, it reminds me so much of Buenos Aires, just on a smaller scale, but all sorts of little coffee shops with media lunas and avocado toast. And there's a lot of little, like I guess what we would call mini Best Buys back in the US or whatever, but they're little sort of appliance electronic stores. So they'll have a few computers, but they also have basically all your appliance selections. And the reality is a lot of them have the smaller, more basic computers than what I need. But other than going inside of all these stores, and we found this to be the case, is we're always kind of hunting and pecking, just looking for the piece that we need. And that's definitely the case today. It's been a long, stressful day. It's about 2:30.
2.5 kilometers.
I have run all around Mendoza and this sort of a little electronic neighborhood or whatever, shopping district. And I have been in every single one of these stores that sells computers, and plenty of them that don't. And to be honest with you, without paying an enormous inflated price, we can't find a computer that matches the specs that I currently have. And we kind of feel like a step down would definitely make it more difficult for us to work. So anyway, it's been difficult decision. But tomorrow morning, first thing, we are leaving Mendoza, which means we have several adventures we were planning on doing here. We're leaving in Mendoza without doing those because we got to go to Buenos Aires, a bigger city. They actually confirmed that the store there has the computer I need. It just takes 10 days to get it here from Buenos Aires. So, long story short, guys, tomorrow morning we're leaving Mendoza, headed to Buenos Aires to try to get a computer.
We've made it back to our campsite here in Mendoza, where we had planned on being for a few days while we kind of toured the city and did the wine tour and a few other things. But as we've showed you this morning, full-time international travel is not always easy. Sometimes you got to sacrifice some stuff to deal with stuff that has a higher priority. That's what's happening with the laptop. Not only is the schedule getting impacted and it's stressful and all of that stuff, but it's also going to hit the budget really, really big time. But we have to do what we have to do. Now, you may think this kind of stuff would deter us from international travel, but don't you worry. We have big plans, and at the beginning of this video, we promised you we were going to tell you more about them. So let us get the kitty cats a walk, and then we're going to sit down on the couch inside and tell you what continent is coming up next. So this is what's going on for the next, 6 months or so. Right now we are headed to Buenos Aires. We were originally headed there just for doctor's appointments. It is time for my 6-month checkup with my cardio team. I will be going in and getting all the testing, all the blood work, and meeting with Dr. Arias again. So you guys cross your fingers that I get some good numbers, because I'm getting a little bit nervous. So we'll be there for maybe 5 days while all that's going on. Then we are heading straight to the border because it's time to go to Brazil. I know everyone up in Brazil has been wondering when we were coming back. We've been promising that we are, and that's what we're doing. Now, the very first thing we're gonna do in Brazil is we're gonna go meet with a guy that we've been connected with through some van life travelers we met on the road that are from Brazil. He is going to help us do some, I'm gonna call it remodeling, that we want to do for the van. There's a few little things and a few big things we're gonna get done. Now we're gonna cover that all in another video. We have a ton of you ask, you've lived in the van for almost 4 years, what would you change? Well, we're gonna change a few things and you're gonna get to see what all that is. The main thing we need to change that I'll go ahead and give y'all a little spoiler alert on is we need to figure out how to bring some of the plumbing inside. Because where we're headed next, don't worry, I'm gonna tell you in a minute, there will be some really cold temperatures we're dealing with and no way around them. So we have to worry about our plumbing freezing. That means we need to get into the garage, do some rearranging, some remodeling, and make room for some plumbing and a water tank in there. Then we're gonna spend 2.5 months seeing Brazil. The south of Brazil, the coast of Brazil, some of the mountains through there. Tons of you have sent us cool places we need to go. Every time I get a recommendation, I put it on our Google map. We don't know our exact route, but we're gonna make the loop and hit as much awesome stuff in Brazil as we can. Then we will return to Argentina, because from Argentina, we will be putting the van on a ship and sending it to Europe. Our next continent is Europe. We will be shipping the van to Europe, touring it, seeing everything we can, taking you with us, of course, finding all of the hidden gems, not just the amazing, well-known places over there, which we'll go see them too, but you know we like to get off the beaten path. So we will be shipping the van, 99% it will be going into Antwerp, Belgium, and from there we will start mapping out our plan. If you've got any cool things in Europe you think we should see, not the big tourist places, we know about those, but any little hidden gems. If you're in Europe and you've got any ideas, feel free to send them to us. I would suggest maybe emailing them to us because sometimes stuff like that gets lost in the comments. We expect to be shipping the van to Europe within maybe 4 months because we got Brazil first, and the ship will take 4 to 5 weeks. Once it gets on the ship, it'll take 4 to 5 weeks before it arrives in Europe. We will spend that time in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, in an apartment, because that is going to be the easiest place for us to get ready to ship the cats over to Europe. There's extensive pet paperwork that must be done, and the arrangements to get them on a plane to make that flight over, that's going to be a lot of logistical planning too. So we'll spend most of that waiting time in Argentina. About a week or so before the van is supposed to show up, we will fly over with our 2 kitty cats, which I am extremely nervous about, but people do it all the time. And we'll go pick up our van in Europe, start touring a new continent. So that's the next, I'd say 5.5 months. And we're super stoked about it. Europe's gonna be completely different than Latin America. So much cool stuff to see and do, and we really hope you guys come with us. But first, doctor's appointments, fingers crossed, good numbers, Brazil for some amazing stuff, and then Europe. That's the update. Back to normal van life. It's still dark outside. We're in the driver's seats. After we left you yesterday afternoon, we made gigantic decisions last night. We are still headed to Buenos Aires, but not to go there to buy a computer. All the price shopping and research we did online, we were literally going to be paying double for a computer that is not quite as good as the one we have now. And the ones we have now barely work. So Curt is going to get on an airplane and fly home to visit his family, which is super exciting. Because if you back up to last fall when we went home to see family, I got really sick, ended up in the hospital, took away all of his visiting time with his family. This is a really good opportunity for him to go see his mom and dad. He's going to come back with a new computer, a few parts we need for the van, hopefully. And we haven't even told you that my phone has been on the fritz and has just really been working like half the time. So I'm getting a new phone. So Curt is going home to visit his family and do some shopping.
Woo! Whirlwind decisions.
Yeah.
Things in our life can change like that and change in a major way. And so I'm pretty excited to go home and see mom and dad.
Yep. Now it's a 12-hour drive from Mendoza to Buenos Aires. We will not make it tonight, but we need to make it as far as we can because Curt flies out tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. So we're headed to Buenos Aires. We found a nice, safe campground for me to stay at the whole time he's gone. That's the Crazy Psycho update. Let's go.
A lot of driving today.
Been on the road for 2.5 hours. It's coming up on time for a driver change and hopefully a place we can at least open the door for 5 or 10 minutes to give the kitties a little break as well. If we can walk them, that'll be even better. But at the driver change, we'll take a little break. We've already had to fill up with gas, gone through some tolls, gone through some military inspection points, and we still have 9.5 hours of driving to get to Buenos Aires. We will not make it there today, but we are going to get as far as we can. So we just fueled up with gas, pulled over under a shade tree at a service station where there's a food truck lady who's making me a steak sandwich and Curt a cheeseburger. Fast food, Argentina style. We've got the door open for the kitties. This is not a place where they'll get a walk, so we'll try to get a walk in a little while down the road if we see somewhere. But just checking in, it is lunchtime and our marathon drive day is going well. I think Vanna spotted some birds in this tree. And if the door is open, G's happy. Biggest hamburger of the trip. And when I say the trip, I mean the whole 4 years.
Only at a food truck are you gonna get food like that. Look at the giant bun with all the seeds. Look at that thing. Argentina meat. This is a good stop. They needed this. Look at Nanny.
Our kitties needed a break. It may not be perfect, but they seem to like it. Look at how happy he is. What's he doing, Danny? Little update on how things are going. It is a little after 5 o'clock. We've been driving since 8 o'clock this morning. And driving this big old van on these roads is always mentally draining. And now it's starting to get a little physically draining. G's starting to get grumpy and scream at us. We've stopped 2 or 3 times for him. And we have driven through miles and miles and miles of cornfields. And when I was beginning to think we wouldn't see anything super cool, we went over a bridge type area through a marshy area with a big lake filled with hundreds of flamingos. Now there's guardrail on both sides of the road, so we couldn't stop. And we don't need to stop anyway, because geez, we got to get to a campsite. She's getting grumpy. But we did film them out the window. So you're getting to see them just as good as we did. Hundreds of pretty pink flamingos. All right, back to driving. Well, we definitely got caught in the darkness, but we have made it to a gas station campground. Nothing glamorous. We just had a quick sandwich for supper. The kitties have had some door open time. And this is where we're gonna wind this video down. We'll see you guys in a few days as we load Curt up on an airplane. Cheers. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!